And if they do, deprivation of rights is a very strong and powerful lawsuit. Sorry, Lion Man, got a little trap there. I'll put the glasses back on. You just, you know, when you're spending years of being suppressed, and ginseng was really hit hard early on in California. And the idea that you would suppress people that use the natural tools that the Supreme Being made for health over these toxic, deadly, well-established kill-ratioed pharmaceuticals, that just shows how low the human being has sunk in his awareness. The allowing of a medical establishment to have a high level of kill ratio and accept that is what we just needed to go through to get to where? You guys are nowhere. The medical establishment is nowhere. What exactly? Okay. Bowels, what do I need for that? So, no rebounder. Ooh, I am jumping since February. No greens at all. What about herbs and dandelion and gotu kola? Oh, I don't care. You know, we're really, you know, got to realize here that I'm talking about detoxification and deeper level work. I have nothing against greens, and gotu kola is one of my favorites. Dandelion, superb. Plantain. I'm an herbalist. And most herbs are vegetables, so you got to realize I'm in love with that community. But you have to understand the human species as a race, and he's more of a frugivorish race. So we need to have more fruit and berries and melons in our diet and less vegetables. And when you're detoxifying, though, and that's what we're talking about, that's what we're learning here. How do you take someone that's literally eaten up with cancer and put them in the chair of Wellville? How do you do that? How do you get to someone that has fibromyalgia, riddled with pain in the muscles from acidosis? How do you get them into this chair of Wellville? Someone that's riddled with arthritis, riddled with diabetes, all these autoimmune ridiculous things the medical doctors say. How do you take them? What's going on here? How do you take them from those suffering positions and put them in the chair of Wellville? That's what this whole course is about that we're doing on the YouTube. Because you have to get back to, why are all these people suffering for? What's causing all these problems? Are they separate individual diseases that you contracted somewhere? I mean, the more you learn this, the more you stand back and go, wow, how stupid. You know, so you just really understand that you guys have the keys. You guys have the knowledge, you have the beauty, the spirituality. You are the light bearers right now to this universe, and that's really key. And so it is. Be strong, because the battle isn't just here. Talked to a lady yesterday about the reptilian race. She caught me off guard. Woo! But I know. I'm very aware. But dandelions, rebounders, just keep in mind about activity and rest. We're torn up with the need of activity, and humans don't know how to rest. That's why I liked Mexico, because you had siestas. Hey, I thought that was pretty sharp. They're smart. And that's what we need, a little cat nap in the afternoon. Boom, you're ready to go. You know, we're just, if you're all on raw and you're all on fruit, you saw that one guy, there's no cat nap, you don't need it, you're on. You're full of energy and everything's on. But if you eat dead animals and dead foods and stuff and you have to take that little nap, okay. But, you know, take time to rest. That's what I'm saying here, is take time to rest. You can exercise, but if you're not filtering lymphatically, you're going to hurt worse. And a lot of you are learning that right now. And a lot of professional athletes are learning that too. We get them in here, like I said, and they're hurting. But take time to rest. Don't always try to exercise things away when the door's closed. The door's key. Once your kidney starts filtering and you see lymphatic trash in your urine, you rebound all you want. Love the new introduction. I haven't heard it. I don't know what Chris is. That's it. Chris took this on like, you know, like I wanted him to, and he just this is his baby, and so I appreciate the fact that he's being creative and that. I'll have to see what he's done with this. So to start, I keep asking about this. How do you cure or help a hiatal hernia when there is pain? Wow. Well, again, you got to go to the fruit, berry, and melon diet for all obvious reasons. Hiatal hernia, you can't swallow anything that's real coarse, anything that's dry. You really need the fruits, berries, and melons, and you need to super chew, especially if you're really closed off. If you got pain, you want to get this out of there. This is the lymph system interstitially in the esophageal wall, but my guess is you're backed up in the gastric and your intestinal walls as well. Move your lymph, and that's time goes so fast. That's a kidney and an adrenal gland. That's the lymph system. So get on the stomach and bowels, do the lymphatic 1 capsules, do 2 kidney formulas, maybe do lymphatic 4 first and then jump to lymphatic 3. Really start honking on that, and you need to detox. She could cough some stuff he cough stuff right up out of the throat, a lot of mucus. You're probably going to feel some deep stuff going on in there. Fresh aloe vera, scrape that off of a plant and take it down, a little shot glass maybe, 2 ounces or even an ounce, and let that go down slowly. It'll help a little bit, but this is congestion, this is acidosis, inflammation, and you got to remove it. You can help it. You can use slippery elm tea, marshmallow tea, things like that. You can use the heal all tea, things like that to help here. And make a big difference. That's the only way that I know that you can cure this sort of thing. Outside of that, good luck. My neighbor had a heart transplant when he was 10 and then passed 6 years later. Then his sister needed a heart transplant too at the age of 11. Sadly, what caused a human to need a heart transplant? Weak genetics, a weak parathyroid? Well, I mean, different parts, absolutely. The heart's just a 4-chambered muscle, so to speak, or tissue, bunch of cells with 2 valves, tricuspid and the mitral valve. These are just gates that open up one chamber to another that allow blood to flow from one chamber to another. Has an electrical system, starts at the SA node in the right ventricle or right atrium and depolarizes the heart and lets the valves open and the blood to flow through. So a lot of things can affect the heart. A heart transplant, to me, would be needed when the heart cells themselves were deteriorating and there was a lot of damage to the heart tissue, and the person was on, the heart couldn't support its own power to pump, not just electrically. Even the electrical system in the heart can be affected by the lymph. The lymph system can affect the nerve and blood flow everywhere. Like tight shoulders with the lymph can make your fingers numb. And you can see that in the heart. You can see that anywhere in the brain. The lymph can swell. That's acidosis and edema. That's all that process can swell and shut down blood flow itself. Not to mention the occlusions developed or the blockages developed through cholesterol or calcium. And again, those are the body's antacid techniques or constituents it uses to fight this acidosis. I'm sure there's a lot of transplants that are extremely unnecessary. And the fact that we can get in there and strengthen cells and save these people from that is amazing. Hospitals, as I said before, should be detoxification / regeneration clinics full of plants and beauty and life and sun, and work on the healing process. If needed, then we have good surgeons standing by to take care of these problems. But we attempt to rebuild and strengthen and let that person have a new life again, instead of this ridiculous treating and then cutting and treating, and that's all ridiculous. A weak parathyroid would end up creating a weak weak connective tissue of the heart, weak valves in the heart, that sort of thing. So depending why, I don't know, you had to find out why they claim they had to transplant the heart. What exactly does sediment look like? What exactly does sediment look like when compared with non-sediment? You see that iced tea? It's clear. It's amber looking, but it's clear. You can see right through it almost. If I took a sugar packet or two and I opened it up and poured the sugar in that tea, and you could see all the sugar flowing through the tea, that's sediment. If I put a snowstorm in that tea, that's sediment. And it doesn't matter what color the urine is, when you see sediment, also mucus threads, little threads of mucus you'll see in there as well. That's all good stuff. And the stool's obvious, shreds of mucus in the stool. Good stuff. Fruit X berry X melons. Did you change your name? That's interesting about the carrot juice with carrot juice used to be the end thing, but if you take a look at carrot juice, it's a little starchy veggie, really not a lot of astringents, doesn't have a lot of pulling power, even it's not that high in calcium, you know, so you can get a lot more calcium in some of your greens. So it was just a thing. It's like wheatgrass, it's just a thing. There's much more powerful food. Alfalfa to me is much more powerful than wheat by far. I mean, it's just well known. So I don't know, you know, why. It's just people get into these things and then they become fads. Like I said, Dr. Jensen tried that route with his cancer and didn't get anywhere. Had he done the fruit grape fast, he'd have gone a lot farther. Perhaps I should phone your clinic and read your book some more. My Detox Kit Hill OT eye wash and stuff for the bath is coming on Friday. Yeah! So I want to do what they... Yep. But let me see. I don't care if you use greens and say have a green drink a day or two, but definitely spend most of the day getting your fruits, berries, and melons, because you want to detoxify the body now. What you do after you get where you want to get, I don't care. You know, you're going to feel so good it doesn't matter where you want to land. But you want to get your pain and suffering taken care of. And how interesting it is that the fruit category will get you there where no other category will. So this, always remember to have a large amount of fruits, berries, and melons in your diet with the minor side of vegetable matter. I've said this before, a primate doesn't have to eat near the amount of fruit a horse has to eat in vegetables to stay healthy. Even though there's some size differences, still. There's a lot more nutrition in fruits and berries than there are in grasses. I would love to come to Florida. Oh, I'd love to come to Florida too there. Let me see what your name is. Angela from Maryland. Hey, Maryland. I'll take a big kiss and a hug from you, but I'm going to give you one back. All right? Good work, sweetheart. Hang in there and have fun on this. Thanks for the, Angela, thanks for the love and support. You're a good soul there, sweetheart. You all are. You all are great. Look, I thought I'd get through this whole thing, and I've got to cut off now. If the 10 didn't show up, we'll be able to come back and go over this. Talking about the no fluorides and toothpaste and things like this, how interesting it is that fluoride accumulates in the bones. And on autopsy, people that are on fluorides, waters and stuff, all the fluoride is trapped in the bones, leaching calcium out. But, you know, how interesting here. Okay. Puppy Love, I think she's coming around. I don't, we'll see, you know. I think she's doing well, but, you know, I can only hope people, you know, come around. And I got to not hope, because I have to be careful about being trapped emotionally in people's cases, and when they're not helping themselves, you know. We take a lot of this on. We can tell when someone does the diet or not. It's obvious. So we see a lot of people making claims, but you can tell they're not doing it by the skin. If you're wrinkled skin and it doesn't clear up in a year, and that seems a long time. I've seen wrinkled skin start to clear up in just 2 and 3 months. But in a year on raw, and you don't see the skin getting stronger? Interesting. Does lymph automatically start moving with an improved diet, or does it also require movement and exercise? No, it does not. Does not, sweetheart. The astringent, your body will naturally move just by the involuntary muscle movement of the body. But